Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Starlight Beacon Transmissions. We are back with another live show, and this week we are talking about some fun stuff. We're going to be talking about The Eye of Darkness by George Mann, the brand new High Republic novel that just hit. We're also going to be talking about Life Day and the Stellan Geos lightsaber that's sold out in record time. And we're also going to be talking about the scalpers that are reselling. And we're going to be talking about the Game Awards nominations. And I know I've been a little bit critical about this, but I am still upset that Jedi Survivor did not get nominated for Game of the Year. It did get nominated for Best Action Adventure, but we're going to get into that later. But I've also got another thing to talk about. We finally got our hands on some Lorcana. Finally, we got some Disney Lorcana today. Um we had to go, what was it, like 35 minutes away from the house to a local game store that just got the Rise of the Floodborn product in, and they had some of the first chapter product in. So we picked up two of the Rise of the Floodborn starter decks. We've got the Evil Queen and Gaston in this one, and the ink colors are Amber and Sapphire. And then this one has Tiana and Merlin, and those colors are Amethyst and Steel. And they actually tell you deck what's in the deck box too. And this also does come with a booster pack as well. So that's pretty cool. And then you also get a paper playmat with this. But honestly, if I'm gonna play Lorcana, I want like a genuine playmat for it. But that's just me. So in the Tiana and Merlin deck, you get Chip the teacup, which is 3 cards. You get Dr. Facilier. You get Hey Hey, Cusco, Madam Min as a fox, Madam Mim as a snake. You get Merlin as a crab, Merlin as a goat, Merlin as a rabbit, Merlin as a shapeshifter, Merlin as a squirrel. The squirrel one's great, yeah. You get freeze cards. So like with the deck lists, it tells you like how many cards are for each. So this is a full 60 card deck that you can play with. And you can only have up to 4 cards of a certain type of certain character. So like you could have 4 Merlin crabs, and then you could have like 4 Merlin goats, 4 Merlin rabbits, what have you. You have 2 freeze cards, 2 I'm stuck cards, Beast Forbidding Recluse, Benja, Guardian of the Dragon Gem. That's Raya's father, from Raya and the Last Dragon. Cinderella, Knight in Training, which that was a pretty card too. Um, Eli LeBouf, the Big Daddy from Princess and the Frog. I love him. No, it's Eli. Yeah, yeah, it's Eli LeBouf, and he's Big Daddy. Hercules, Hero in Training. Lawrence, Jealous Manservant. He's from Princess and the Frog also. Lilo, Galactic Hero. Prince Eric, Dashing and Brave. Prince Naveen, Penniless Royal. The Huntsman, Reluctant Enforcer. The Prince, Never Gives Up. Tiana, Celebrating Princess. Tiana, Diligent Waitress. 2 last cannons, 2 mouse armors, and then, of course, the most important card in this starter deck, Kronk Junior Chipmunk. Yes. So that is the starter deck for Rise of the Floodborn. Like I said, or this is the Amethyst and Steel deck. And then we also, like I said, we have the Amber and Sapphire deck, which comes with the Evil Queen and Gaston. And I actually like this Gaston card a lot. Um, so you get Bashful, Hopeless, Romantic, Christopher Robin, Adventurer, which I think is pretty cool. Doc, Leader of the Seven Dwarfs. Dopey, Always Playful. Gaston, Baritone Bully. Grand Duke, Advisor to the King. Grumpy, Bad Tempered. Happy, Good Natured. LeFuse in this deck too. He's known as a bumbler. Sleepy, Nodding Off. Sneezy, Very Allergic. Snow White, Lost in the Forest. Queen, Commanding Presence. Queen, Royal Monarch. Painting the Roses Red, which is an Alice in Wonderland card. Belle, Inventive Engineer. Corella Deville, Fashionable Cruiser. Gaston, Intellectual Powerhouse, which I do not think that's true. Hiram Fleversham, Toymaker. Hiram was the dad from The Great Mouse Detective. Okay. It's been a while since I've seen The Great Mouse Detective, and I kind of have a. I don't really like that movie. Judy Hopps, Optimistic Officer. Al, Logical Lecturer. You get Phil, Trainer of Heroes. The Knock, Water Spirit. Winnie the Pooh, Having a Think. Four, 4 dozen eggs. Launch, Fang Crossbow, Gumbo Pop, and a Popsicle. And some of these were actually part of previous sets as well. It looks like Belle was in a previous set, and LeFou and Phil were in previous sets. So that's that's really cool. It's so cool to finally get my hands on Lorcana. Um, like seriously, it's so nice to get my hands on this. We tried looking for it when we were down in Florida back in October, and it was like non-existent at World of Disney, or maybe we just didn't look hard enough. Who knows? Oh yeah, yeah. So they didn't have it. But yeah. Oh, and I also want to show you one of my favorite cards that we also picked up 4 boosters today too. And this is one of my favorite cards. That's Bucky the squirrel from Emperor's New Groove. So anyway, enough Lorcana because I've spent like 7 minutes on this now. Actually, 8 minutes on this now. Let's get into the fun here. We are going to be talking about, first off, I'm going to be sharing my spoiler free thoughts on this book. I did release an episode earlier this week that talked about spoiler free, but I figured I would share them again for this book that just came out. You all know I absolutely love the High Republic. It's one of my favorite things it's my favorite thing in Star Wars, and it's just one of my favorite things in general. So I have here I have Darkness, which is the brand new High Republic novel that came out from George Mann. This is about 391 pages. Yeah, 391 pages. This is the first official novel in phase three. So far in phase three, we've had Shadows of Starlight 1 and 2, and then the first issue of Kevin Scott's Marvel Comics run. So yeah, this is the story of what is going on with the Nihil in the Occlusion Zone, the Republic trying to break through the Nihil storm wall so that they can get into the Occlusion Zone. And it's first off, this book's incredible. I loved it. I pretty much sped through this because like I really wanted to read this book, and it was just It's emotional, it's fun, it's dark, it's very dark, but it also ends on a real hopeful note, and that to me is what's really important here. And George Mann understands these characters so well. And there's actually quite a few references to Phase 2 in this book as well, because George Mann did write some of the Phase 2 stories. He wrote Quest for the Hidden City, which was the middle grade novel. And then he also wrote Battle for Jeddah, which was the audio drama, which was absolutely incredible, and one of my favorite stories in Phase 2. So this really lived up to the hype for me, and I love this book so much. Marky and Rowe takes center stage in this, but it's he, because I don't want to give anything away. Marky and Rowe is definitely in this book, but there are other characters in the Nihil that this book also focuses on. And then when it comes to the Republic side, you've got Porter Ingle being focused on Elzar Mann, Avar Kriss, uh, Bel Zettifar. So it's really cool to see those characters interacting. Yes, Buryaga is in this book too. I love the relationship between Bell and Buryaga in this book, and I love their friendship so much. Um, like I said, though, this book is dark. It there are there's some brutal things that happen in this book, but it's really well balanced between a lot of it's got a lot of action, but it also has some very small and quiet moments. And I really think, like, yeah, the action's great in Star Wars books, and the High Republic has had some amazing action sequences and some amazing just amazing character moments. In this book, there's no shortage of them. I feel like the best parts in this book, though, are those moments where you can sit there and catch your breath and spend some time with these characters and get to these more intimate character moments. Um, you you also get to see Elzar and Avar really coming to terms with Stellan's death and what that means to them. And then you also have Bell, who's still coming to terms with Loden's death and almost losing Buryaga. So you have all of these small character moments. There's also some great moments in this book with Elzar and Lena So, and how they both kind of have this survivor's guilt um, when it comes to the death of Stellan. Um, Even though Lena So wasn't on board Starlight when it fell, she, shared some very big moments with Stellan, especially in the Rising Storm. So to see her struggling with Stellan's death as well, even a year later, it's still just, I don't know. It was refreshing to see it, and you also have Elzar really trying to do things the way Stellan would have done them, but ultimately, Stellan would have said, "Dude, you need to do things the Elzar man way. Like, you need to do things your way, because if you don't, it's he's pretty much like it's going to end up biting you in the butt." Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to go into spoilers because this book is so damn good. And I will be rereading this soon because I know there's probably a few things I missed in this book, but I George, George, thank you for writing this book. Really, thank you for giving us this book. It's beautiful. It's such a great story and such an amazing way to kick off the novels to phase 3. Because like I said, phase 3 kicked off with Shadows of Starlight number 1, and then we also had uh issue number 2, and we've had High Republic number 1. So to get this story now, it's just, oh, it's so cool. And how can you not love this cover? Like, how can you, if you are a fan of the High Republic or you are just a fan of Star Wars in general, and you're just like, hey, that's a really badass cover. It is. It really is. And I don't know how else. I don't know what else to say about this book other than I am so happy that the High Republic exists. I am so happy that we get these stories. Um, yes, Blue Milk Mama. Thank you for being here, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, it was such a great book. Also, people, Blue Milk Mama is amazing, and if you have never seen her desserts, you should because they're incredible and they're amazing, and I love them. I can I just fly you to us and just have you make desserts for us like like a daily basis because that would be fantastic. Think about it. Like I said, I'm so happy that these stories exist. And it's crazy because I have never been, I mean, I've always enjoyed Star Wars novels. Yes, yes, that would be a lot of fun. Um, I've always enjoyed Star Wars novels, but it wasn't until the new canon that, especially like books like Lost Stars and Dark Disciple, even the Tarkin novel by James Luceno, and even Timothy Zahn coming back to write Thrawn. But it wasn't until new canon that I really just dove deep into Star Wars books. Like I had read Legends, like I had read some Legends stuff, but it wasn't until the canon where I was like, you know what, this is a great jumping on point. This is a great way to start, and here we are. And then after the Skywalker saga, we got the High Republic, and these stories are these stories are really special to me. Um, these characters are really special to me. And Mike, Charles, Daniel, Kevin, Claudia, Justina, Tessa, Lydia, Zoraida, Daniel, um, Alyssa, everybody involved in the High Republic. If you're watching, thank you. Seriously, thank you for these stories. Thank you for these amazing experiences. And thank you for building us up, tearing us down, and building us up again. Um, I don't know how else to describe the feeling these books give me. And it's crazy, like, like, I read Lord of the Rings and loved Lord of the Rings. I was a big fan of, like, Chronicles of Narnia and stuff, but, like, I wasn't, like I don't wanna say obsessed with those as I am with these. I just There's just something about these books, something about these comics, these manga, these audio dramas, everything that just hits in the most unique way. So, George, you knocked this out of the park. I loved reading every single page of this book. You made me go on an emotional roller coaster of a ride. And we kind of need to talk about a decision that you made, but I'm not going to go into spoilers because I don't want to go into spoilers. Not until people have had a chance to read this book because this book did just come out this week. So, yes, read this book if you have not read this book. If you have read this book, you can always message me to talk about this book, and talk about the emotional roller coaster that you went on as well, because that's exactly what this book did. Like I said, there's a decision in this book that is made that, George, we need to talk about because I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to do it. I'm trying to refrain myself from doing this. So, anyway, I'm going to talk about Life Day now because if I keep talking about this book, something's going to slip. So, anyway, Life Day happened yesterday, which is the holiday in Star Wars universe that we all know and love. Uh, we gather around with our fellow Wookiees and fellow High Republic enthusiasts and everything, and we just celebrate light and life. Yesterday actually ended up becoming For Light and Life Day in the High Republic community, and that was a lot of fun to celebrate. Also, yesterday, Disney decided to release the Stellan Geos Legacy lightsaber hilt on Shop Disney as well as at Disneyland and Disney World. Only 5,000 of them were made. And it retailed here in the States, it retailed for $325. If you bought it from Shop Disney, it did come with it came with the crossguard lightsaber blades, so that those could light up, but it did not come with a regular lightsaber blade. You have to get that separate. However, the problem with Shop Disney is that they don't sell lightsaber blades separately. Currently they don't. So in order to get a lightsaber with a lightsaber blade on Shop Disney, you actually have to buy like one of the bundles, which is usually around like $250. There's like a Yoda one, a Luke Skywalker one, I believe Vader has one, Mace Windu has one. So like if that's how you want to get the blade, and then just buy more legacy hilts, I mean, go ahead and do that if that's what you want. But um or you can go to Galaxy's Edge and build a lightsaber and then buy a legacy lightsaber hilt. And that way you have two hilts and one blade. So you can always pull the blade off of the one hilt and put it in the other. So, but anyway, saw that there were a few Life Day meetups yesterday. I think it would have been a lot of fun to be either at Batu West or Batu East. Looked like a lot of the food was pretty good yesterday. Like they had special food for Life Day, including pretty much mac and cheese bites. I believe that they were at Ronto Roasters, and that would have been really good. I think. I think I think they were actually blue milk mac and cheese bites, or just like they were dyed. The cheese was dyed blue or something. I don't remember. I have to look it up. Um, and then so you had these meetups. You had some caroling and everything. You had characters walking around, and I don't know. I think it would be a lot of fun to be on Batu for Life Day. And hopefully, one of these years, I'll be able to go to Batu for Life Day because I just think I think it would be a fun experience to share with everybody. I also do want to do like a droid meetup at some point because there is the Mubo's Droid Builders Club, which is a really cool group where you can, you show off your droid that you built at Mubo's, and then we also have the Droid Smiths Union, which we can pretty much Batu bound as Droid Smiths, which is really fun. And I have two Droid Builder cosplays to that I wear. Still haven't been to a Droid meetup yet, but plan on it. Anyway, yesterday I was thinking about, because the Stellan Geos lightsaber came out yesterday. I was thinking about the Life Day Treasury from George Mann and Cavan Scott that was released last year or the year before. And that book is full of short stories that celebrate various um, winter holidays in the Star Wars universe. And I kept thinking of the Stellan Geos story, which was at the beginning, and how Stellan was tracking down this kid who was a pickpocket, and he actually tracked it. He was on Coruscant, and he was going to the temple for a winter solstice celebration. But as he was making his way through, he started tracking this pickpocket, and he tracked the kid to his home. And you see that the kid is living with his grandmother, and he's trying to, he's pickpocketing so that he could sell those items, or keep the money to help his grandmother out. Yes, you do, that would be amazing. But he's like trying to help his grandmother out, and Stellan sees what's happening, and he talks to the kid, and he's like, come on, you're better than this, we can help you. And so the kid sees Stellan's compassion, and he offers Stellan this humble meal that him and his grandmother were going to share. And Stellan accepts it, but then he says, no, you guys are going to come with me to the temple. We're going to get you cleaned up. We're going to get you fed. We're going to give you a warm place to stay. And we're going to figure out next steps for you. That way you don't have to, um, scrape by day after day and struggle. And thinking about it right now, it kind of brings a tear to my eye because of just that story is so good. And yeah, yes, Blue Milk Mama. I miss Stellan too. I miss him so much. But some people are saying because Burry was in Iram's ocean, Stellan might be under the ocean too. Maybe. I doubt it, but you know, it would. One could hope. One could hope. One could think, but it is what it is. You can't. You can't change it. It happened. Uh, God, I don't even remember. Was Fallen Star? Fallen Star was almost a year ago. No, no, 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember when Fallen Star was. Oh God, all those release dates run together. All of those release dates run together. Anyway, yeah, it was about 2 years ago. Um, but that's what Life Day is. It's about coming together and celebrating, and it's about the joy of love and family and friends. Yes, 2 years, almost 2 years. Thank you. Um, and to see that like happening at Batu West and Batu East, Disney World and Disneyland, seeing these people come together to celebrate Life Day and to celebrate the High Republic, whether it be like, getting the Stellan saber or just celebrating hashtag Nubs Nation. Uh, oh wait, that's right. Hey, can you get the nubs in the bag? Sorry, I just thought about it. Um, yes, I did partake in Nubs capitalism. I have partaken in Nubs capitalism a little bit. Here he is in all of his glory. It is the Nubs ornament. Um, how can you not love Nubs? Seriously, how can you not love this little guy? But then again, I'm not a big fan of Grogu, and people are like, "How can you not love Grogu?" I don't know. Maybe because this is High Republic. As I throw it, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to throw him. I just went, eh, and then like it just slipped out of my hand. Poor Nubs. He's fine. He's okay. It's Nubs. He's fine. Anyway, um, yeah, it's just cool to see, celebrating the High Republic and celebrating Life Day and all of it. And it just makes me just happy. So happy Life Day, everybody. Seriously, happy Life Day. Um, I hope that you all had a wonderful Life Day. I hope you got to watch some Young Jedi Adventures, which I still need to watch more of, especially Chase, because I need to see my boy Bell, and I need to see my favorite Charhound, Ember, and I need to see Loden Greatstorm. Need to see Loden Greatstorm. Just saying. So anyway, let's move on here. We're going to be talking about the Game Awards because we had the nominations come out and we had some of the voting. And yeah, this year has been a stacked year for video games. It really has. Between you had Jedi Survivor early on in the year, Cyberpunk 2077 had the Phantom Liberty expansion come out. Alan Wake 2 just hit not too long ago. Super Mario Wonder, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Spider Man 2, which I don't have a PS5. Otherwise, if I did have a PS5, I'd be playing Spider Man 2, but it's okay because I'm playing Spider Man 1 on my PC while Spider Man Remastered. Absolutely love it. And then eventually I'll play Miles Morales. Anyway, um, but you also had Baldur's Gate 3, which a lot of you are still playing. Still, you had Diablo 4. Um, I mean, so many titles. So they had Game of the Year. So the Game Awards are coming up next month, and we have the nominees here for the categories. And for Game of the Year, your nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Um, Out of all of these, I've played Tears of the Kingdom, really liked it. I have not played Super Mario Wonder. I have not played. I've not played Alan Wake 2 yet, but I have watched the musical sequence in Alan Wake 2, and I want to play it just for the musical sequence. I love the first game. Absolutely love the first Alan Wake. And I loved Control. I loved Quantum Break. I love most of Remedy's titles. Um, I didn't play Resident Evil 4 Remake because number one, I'm not a zombie guy, and number two, I played Resident Evil 4 when it came out like 16, 18 years ago. Like I played it when it first came out, and for a remake to be on this list, honestly, it shouldn't be on this list for Game of the Year. If anything, that should have been removed. I think Super Mario Brothers Wonder should have been removed as well, or at least Spider-Man 2 should have been removed. I feel like Spider-Man 2's on there because it's a recent game and it had really big word of mouth, and plus there was a lot of hype to it. And Super Mario Wonder just didn't do anything for me. I know a lot of people enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed it, if you played it and you enjoyed it, cool. I just didn't see any appeal in that game. I think that you could have removed Resident Evil 4 Remake and even Spider-Man 2, and you could have put Jedi Survivor in there and Hi-Fi Rush in there. Um, Honestly, I really feel like Jedi Survivor should have been considered for Game of the Year because the game is just incredible. It's an amazing experience. It's a wonderful story. It's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. Cameron Monaghan and the rest of the cast knocked it out of the freaking park in that game. Like seriously, they knocked it out of the park. It had amazing performances. It had a wonderful story, excellent combat, and just everything with just like going to different locations. That first bit of the game when you're on Coruscant and you're free running through the levels of the city, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And then going to Kobo and going to Jeddah. Oh my gosh, the Jeddah sequence in Jedi Survivor is just amazing, especially when you take down the drill and Marin's like creating the portals for you to like jump through to like hit the drill and everything. Oh my gosh, it's this incredible sequence. And then the stuff with Seer on Jeddah and the twist towards the end. I'm not going to get into it because if you've not played the game, you should. Um, to me, it is my game of the year. I've played through the game twice now. I'm about to start my third playthrough because I love that game. I love that game so damn much. And if you're a High Republic fan, oh my gosh, it's literally a High Republic game. It's got it's got flashbacks to the High Republic, and it's got High Republic characters in it, and um oh my gosh, it's got Turgle. How can you not love Turgle? Hashtag Turgletown USA. Um it's got Scuba Stev, who's pretty much Scuba Steve from the Adam Sandler movie Big Daddy. Um, it's got all of these amazing things. And like I get it. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea. I understand that there were bugs with it when it launches. Most games have bugs when they launch. It happens. I mean, it can be they can claim it's like the most polished experience ever, but you'll still get bugs with it. One of the jokes with Starfield was there were a lot of bugs with Starfield when it launched, and that's why we kept calling it Bethesda Studios that designed it, because there's always bugs in Bethesda games. But I just really feel like Jedi Survivor should have been on the list for Game of the Year, and Hi-Fi Rush should have been on the list. Let me get into Hi-Fi Rush real quick, and then I'll get back to Jedi Survivor. Hi-Fi Rush was this game that they shadow dropped on Game Pass literally during a developer direct with Xbox. It was done by one of Bethesda's studios. It was the studios that did Tokyo, Ghostwire Tokyo, and The Evil Within 1 and 2. And this game is completely different than Evil Within 1 and 2 and Ghostwire Tokyo. Like this game is oh man, Hi-Fi Rush. What can I say about this game? It is literally you're playing a rhythm-based anime and it's so much fun. It's the action's great, the story's great, the comedy's fantastic, the soundtrack is so damn good. And it's just such a fun time. My buddy Joey, the courtside king, he's in our RPG group, and he's been on our live show a few times. Joey and I were talking about it the other day, and just that game hit at the right moment. That game hit at just the right moment, and it blew the doors off of everything, and people were playing it, people loved it, the people are still playing it. I know people that are on like their third or fourth playthrough of the game because they just can't get enough of Hi-Fi Rush. So really feel like that should have been on there. So let's get here. So I voted for Alan Wake 2 for game of the year. I did not play Baldur's Gate 3. I've wanted to play Baldur's Gate 3, but I'm probably going to wait for it to hit my Xbox Series S soon. Let's see here. Best game direction. Voted for Alan Wake 2 again, but it was Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate, Spider-Man, Super Mario, and Tears of the Kingdom. Best narrative went to Alan Wake, it's Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Spider-Man. Honestly, I feel like Jedi Survivor should have been on that list as well, because just the narrative to that game is just so beautiful. Just the High Republic stuff alone in Jedi Survivor is worth the price there. Let me see here. Best art direction, Alan Wake, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, which is a Dark Souls Pinocchio game. No thanks. Super Mario Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom. I voted for Hi-Fi Rush because I love the art in Hi-Fi Rush. Best score in music, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Tears of the Kingdom, Hi-Fi Rush. I voted for Hi-Fi Rush because that soundtrack is just incredible. I think that you could have removed probably Alan Wake and put in Jedi Survivor there because the music in Jedi Survivor is top notch and only adds to the experience as well. Let me see here. Best audio design. It was Alan Wake 2, Dead Space Remake, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and Hi-Fi Rush. I went Hi-Fi Rush because the sound in that game is awesome. Best performance, here we go. We have Ben Starr, Final Fantasy 16. Melanie Ibbard, she plays Saga Anderson, Alan Wake 2. Yuri Lowenthal, Spider-Man 2. Neil Newborn, Baldur's Gate 3. Cameron Monaghan, Jedi Survivor. And Idris Elba, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. I love Cal. I love Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis, and I hope he wins Best Performance because he absolutely deserves it. Between Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, Cameron Monaghan has just his Cal Kestis is amazing. Cameron Monaghan just is Cal Kestis, and he's so good in the role, and he's passionate and like he sells everything, and he takes you on this emotional journey throughout the game, and I love it. However, as much as I hope he wins, I really think Idris Elba is going to win it for Cyberpunk 2077 because it's Idris Elba. That's all I'm going to say. Um, I don't get me wrong, like I love Idris Elba. I think he's a fantastic actor, but I still think it should be Cameron Monaghan. Innovation and accessibility. Don't really need to know about that other than I voted for Forza. Let me see here. Best ongoing, World of Warcraft should have been nominated for that, but they weren't even on there. When Apex Legends, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, and Genshin. Fortnite's probably going to win that. Best community support. Uh, Destiny 2 got nominated for best community support, and then Bungie fired their entire community team. So, yeah. Best independent game. I voted Sea of Stars. Here we go. We're getting to. We are going to get to the category here. Best action game. I voted Hi-Fi Rush for that. Here we go. Best action adventure. You had Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Jedi Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom. Of course, I voted Jedi Survivor because, like I said, really want that game to win. It deserves the win. That it's that good. It is that good, my friends. And I say action adventure because look at the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. I actually had somebody compare it to Uncharted. It's literally Star Wars Uncharted, and I'm here for it. Because yeah, there's a little bit of puzzle solving, but it's a lot of exploration. And there's a lot of like great moments of action and dialogue, and just it's there. It's just fun. It's just fun, and I really want this game to win. However, I think it's either going to be Spider-Man or it's going to be Alan Wake. And Alan Wake is not an action adventure game. It's got action in it, but it's more of a survival. It's a survival horror game. Even Sam Lake said it was a survival horror game. So I don't know. Please vote for Jedi Survivor. Please. Please. I feel like I'm talking too much about this. Um, let's see here. Also, we have best RPG. That's probably going to go to Baldur's Gate, even though I voted Starfield. Don't care about fighting. Let's see here. I am getting to. Here we go. Most anticipated game. You have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Tekken 8, and Star Wars Outlaws. I voted for Star Wars Outlaws. I cannot wait for that game next year. I am so excited to spend time with Nyx and Kay Vess and the rest of the characters in that game. I am also really excited that we are going to be seeing the War of the Bounty Hunters era. I really hope we get to see Crimson Dawn and maybe Kira in the game as well. I think that that would be awesome. So I vote for Star Wars Outlaws. Really, please vote for Star Wars Outlaws. The game deserves it. It's from what we saw, it's a beautiful game. It comes out next year. The community is really excited for it. It's going to be another single player adventure, which makes me super happy. I'm excited to step into the role of Kay Vess and really, explore her story and experience her story. So vote for Star Wars Outlaws. That's going to be on all platforms. except Nintendo Switch. Not going to be on Nintendo Switch, which is fine. But at that point, we're going to have the announcement for the Switch, um, or the Switch 2. We call it the Switch because it could be like SWII. But anyway, yeah, super excited for Star Wars Outlaws. I know I've been rambling a lot tonight. I should have wrote a script. Probably will next time, but it is what it is. It's the first show back in a while, and yeah. Um, how are you all feeling about Jedi Survivor? And the nominations. Like I really feel like them nominating Cameron for best performance was actually was a pretty good move. Like I said, I think he gave the best performance. Um, I did not play Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, but I did see some gameplay for it. And yeah, Idris Elba has a pretty decent performance in the game, but um, I just don't think it's Cameron Monaghan esque in that game. Um, Plus, I'm really hoping that Survivor wins Best Action Adventure, and I hope that the High Republic community really jumps in and votes for it because, like I said, it's literally a High Republic game um, with Cal Kestis in it. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just I'm a little bummed that it wasn't nominated Game of the Year, but the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Um, it's tough though. It's a tough pill to swallow because just that game hit at the right time. Um, and it was all we talked about for a long time. And yeah, but I don't know. It's good to be back. It's good to talk about all this stuff, and it was good to show off some Lorcana earlier in the show. Um, Super excited about diving into that. We did actually see some Star Wars game stuff today as well. Um, we kind of want to get some Shatterpoint pieces just to build and paint, even though don't. I don't think we're going to play the game, but I really want to get the Shatterpoint sets to build and paint, even though I stink at painting. But my wife loves to paint, and you would probably paint like all the stormtroopers like hot pink and stuff. I'm just saying. But yeah, uh, yeah, it was cool to see Star Wars Shatterpoint out in the wild. It was cool to see a lot of Legion stuff as well. Star Wars Legion is still going pretty strong. Armada is still going pretty strong. So is X-wing. So it's really cool to see all of that. We also do have Star Wars Unlimited coming out in March, which is going to be a brand new card game done by the folks over at Fantasy Flight. Which I will say this: if you are a fan of card games, definitely check out Marvel Champions, which is a Marvel superhero card game. It's a cooperative card game done by Fantasy Flight, and it's really cool. You can pretty much buy already made decks to play in the game, and then of course like you can tweak the decks as you go on. Um, but yeah, they have a bunch of expansions out for it now too, including one that has both Miles and Spider-Gwen in it, which I think that would be a cool expansion to have, especially for like the Miles and Spider-Gwen. Um, so check out Marvel Champions. Definitely check out some of the stuff for Star Wars Unlimited, like I said, that is coming out in March. Really excited about that one, because I'm just going to say this right now. I do not need to get into any more card games. However, I would for Star Wars Unlimited. Um, I'm going to with this and possibly One Piece. So, just saying. And we also kind of want to get back into Magic because of the Lord of the Rings box sets and the Doctor Who stuff. And they're doing Jurassic Park. So, yeah. And My Little Pony. I can't forget My Little Pony. We need to get you My Little Pony Magic cards. Um, God, I wonder like what those colors are going to be for like the My Little Pony stuff. Like, will Discord be black? Like, I have a feeling like, yeah. Sorry, folks. I'm talking My Little Pony. Yes, I know. But I have a feeling like Twilight Sparkle would probably be blue because of like the whole like countering and magic and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So, um, yeah, that's it for the live show, folks. That's it. I'm sorry I've been all over the place tonight. You know, we're back. I hope that you all have, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope that you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving this week. I hope that your family tables are filled with you gushing about the High Republic and other Star Wars goodness, and driving people crazy with it because guess what? It's awesome being a Star Wars fan. Um, that's that's all I got right now, folks. Like I said, hope that you have a wonderful week. I hope that you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We will see you probably not this Saturday night, but the next Saturday night, because I get it. Thanksgiving holiday and everything. You just want to spend time with family and everything. And why would you want to watch me when you could be eating leftover turkey and pumpkin pie? And I plan on making leftover turkey sandwiches. That's all I'm going to say about that. Um, yeah, so may the force be with you. May you always fight for light and life. And remember that we are all the Republic. Oh, real quick, we are not going to have a live show on December 9th. We are not having a live show December 9th as we are going to be out of town attending a local comic convention. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, anyway, have a wonderful week. Remember, we are all the Republic. And until next time, may the force be with you. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Bye.